Hey, what's up, boss? Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm all right. I just woke up. Yeah, I'm kind of congested. It's just me being old, though. Bitcoin's just going down into the dumps, but seems like it's a great buying opportunity. I mean, everybody thinks it's going to keep going down too, which is kind of interesting. I just don't have any money right now, and I bought a guitar today. I bought a guitar today. Yeah, it does seem unbeatable. I really had no business buying a guitar today, but I saw a guitar that I really liked, and I tried to talk myself out of buying it. But man, I tell you, once I find a guitar that I really like, it's very hard to get me to not buy it. I've always been that way. If I see it, and this is one of the few things in this world that if I see it and I want it, I just have to get it. I can't have a hard time saying no. And the cool thing with guitars though is the ones I buy anyway, they hold their value, so it's not like they actually have value. You know what I mean? Oh, you're still alive, huh? What's up, Insomniac? Congrats on staying alive. Alive. For yours RPG, yeah. Well, yours is cheaper than mine, I think. Man, I'm sorry. I'm really struggling. I'm really congested right now. I think I'm gonna have to go blow my nose. Also, I just sneezed a minute ago. Oh man, I'm gonna have to take some Advil. I'll be right back, man. Give me a second. I'll leave this screen up. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So RPG. Do you just mean fantasy novels, or do you mean like? I mean, when you say RPG books, do you mean like? I don't know. I mean, what kind of books you talking about? I like fantasy novels, so I used to buy a lot of fantasy books. I stopped because I wasn't reading them. I get too busy playing video games and wasn't putting enough time away on the side to read. I'll see like the stories behind like like I'm trying to think of some of the popular D&D series. There's so many book series. Just for the hell of it. The thing I hate about, well, I don't hate about books, but Books can be really heavy when you have a lot of them. But I guess I really shouldn't talk. I have a closet full of guitars and guitar cases that my wife kind of gets mad about. And I just bought, oh, I love the Bloodlust set. The Bloodlust set is so cool. We're actually going to hold on to that because it's a really good item when we reach level 60. We're going to keep that, actually. We're going to keep that. So I bought a new guitar. Your dream was D&D 3.5 black leather bound set. Is that like an RPG set, or is that like an actual game, like part of like the Dungeons and Dragons game, or? Well, you got the money, dude. You got the money. It's the game, yeah. I love it when these cure poisons never seem to work because it's probably too low level. You want to see the guitar I bought? Which, here's the funny part, man. So I've been looking to buy a guitar for a while now. I buy a guitar like once a year, once every 2 years. It's just something I do, you know? It's just something I do. And I hadn't bought a guitar in, I don't know. Really, I bought one. I think I bought one like, I don't know, maybe like 10 months ago. So I'm kind of with a little bit shorter time frame than normal for me, but so I think also you've probably seen Valstay, and I don't know Insomniac if you're aware of it, but Season of Discovery there's like a community. Man, my throat is really raw right now. I should have made some tea. In Season of Discovery, there's some sort of a guild leader who is doing an event, a community type event, and JP, who's whiskey, yeah, JP, who's a member of my YouTube channel, was the one telling me about it. Man, I'll say you might have seen it on the Discord, but it was this one here. You know, it's basically a community-led event in Season of Discovery where they're going to level from 1 to max level, but the guild is only paladins and priests. And they're just trying to level together, and they've got a little bit of a RP thing going on, join the light and let the light guide you. And then they're also doing, they put this out as well. Some of the core rules, you know, auction house trading is allowed, I guess, and boosting is restricted. And then there's, I don't know what this is. We will progress together using the following brackets. So I really don't know much about Season Discovery, so I think these are the custom raids or custom dungeons in Season Discovery. And so I guess they're planning on leveling together as a guild by just doing these dungeons, I guess. Anyways, it's something that looks kind of mildly interesting, so I think I may do that. I might do a little, oh, my computer's going to crash because I've dragged a browser window over on top of my stream. Every time I drag a browser window on top of the game that I'm streaming, the game crashes. Like, seriously. Come on, game. Just go ahead and crash. Oh, this is so annoying because it can get me killed. Now my computer's crashing. Shit. Holy shit, I thought it was going to crash my entire computer. It almost crashed my computer. I gotta stop doing that. Every time I bring a fucking browser window on top of this window while I'm streaming, I don't know why, but it just like freezes the game. Almost crashed my whole computer. But anyways, that's something that's going on with this whole like Season Discovery. So I might do that. It could be interesting. such a mess. It's this stupid quest I did, and I'm gonna have to go to frickin' Eastern Plaguelands to turn this quest in because it's literally occupying 5 slots in my bag. 5 slots, which is just unforgivable. The, the vendor here.
Goddess, I am listening.
Hello. Can I assist?
How are ya? Safe travels.
How may I help?
The fucking vendor here. Chat, what do warrior next time? Yeah, warrior's always fun in hardcore. I think there's a vendor up here, but it seems kind of silly to have to run all the way up here every time I want to hit a vendor.
What will you need?
Elune adore.
Holy crap. There's a freaking vendor here. This is like beyond annoying. It's been way too long since I've done Silithus apparently that I can't remember. Here, one of these is a vendor.
Brings you here.
This one. And he's a repair person. I knew there was a vendor here somewhere. We don't need Scorptails, we don't need this, don't need this, don't need Shadow Silk. We don't need... let's just dump this. It's taking up inventory in my room. We're gonna dump that quest. Get rid of this, get rid of this. Go with this. This one abandoned.
Well met.
So we don't need. What is this? We do need that. We do need that, I guess. I guess we can consume that, although I like to save that for later. But it's taking up inventory space, so. Oh. You wound up full of just rounding up. Yeah. AoE leveling's legit.
You wish to speak?
Just trying to get rid of stuff at this point. Alright, so. Let me check the price of Bitcoin. Oh shit, it went up, dude. It went from like 61.4 all the way up to 64,000. I'm a little bummed. If I'm not gonna, I gotta be honest with you, Valsty. I'm a little bummed. I was hoping Bitcoin was gonna drop down to around 55 because I was gonna buy it like 55. You can never time it though, can you? You can never time it. The hunter was dope. I never asked to group again, and I grabbed his tool. Yeah, I don't group a lot. Gotta love these snakes. Why is it so dark? That. No, I guess curs, but not really. Can we skin these? No. Kinda glad we can't. pulled 5 or less mobs to me and I shredded everything. Yeah. If you can get someone who's a good player and understands what's going on. I find though that like most times when I group, that's not the case. You know, I just don't really get people to. It's not that they're bad players. It's just that they don't play the way I want them to play. You know what I mean? Like I kind of have a way that I play the game, and when I group with people, you know. Hey Maverick, what's up? I'm currently level 57. Currently the melee hunter is level 57. And sneeze. Damn, huge sneeze. Huge sneeze. Blood. Maverick, thanks for becoming a channel member. I appreciate it, man. I'd meant to. I don't know if I told you that before, but man, dude, thanks for becoming a member of the channel, man. That's awesome. You're one of the few members of my channel. I think we've got 5 people that are members. I haven't. You think the Bitcoin bottom was met? Yeah, it was kind of. I was a little disappointed that it bounced back up. I was hoping it was going to drop to maybe 55. I was thinking that it wouldn't go. I didn't think it would go below 50. Then all the suckers would be scared out. Sold we scared off all the suckers. It's like the movie Trading Places when Eddie Murphy says, "Yeah, I think we scared out all the suckers." 140 is next. Why? Yeah, it would be cool to get a cool drop, but there's like quite a few quests out here. No, I mean there's a few quests out here we're trying to do, so. And then I need to get up to Eastern Plaguelands and turn in a quest, and maybe do a few quests in Eastern Plaguelands. So we're gonna bounce back and forth, I think, between Eastern Plaguelands and Silithus for a little bit, you know. Yeah, it's been a very, very long run. It's so slow leveling on the melee hunter because of the way we did the gear restrictions. You know, I just don't have good gear. You know, so I don't. My damage isn't. You know, I would say though, even though my damage isn't like elite or anything, it's still not horrible. Like I grouped with a hunter in the Burning Steppes, and we were killing these elite dragons together, and that hunter was only out DP. That was a ranged hunter, of course, and they were only out DPSing me by a little bit. Of course, they weren't really trying to do damage. They were doing a lot of serpent sting, just auto shotting. But even so, they were barely out DPSing me. Michael Soga tweeted, "Thanks for the cheap buys." Yeah, I think that's exactly what it feels like. That's what Sailor did. It was just like he was testing the market to say, "Hey, I'm just going to sell a few and see what happens." And I mean, honestly, it worked. Think about it. I mean, talk about market manipulation. Sailor sells a few Bitcoin. The Bitcoin price tanks like from 75 to 60 or something, and then he just buys like 500 million worth of Bitcoin at a much lower price. You know. I find normal ranged hunter very, very boring. Like, super boring. Gotta be careful. My health's kind of getting low against some of these mobs pretty quickly because of the poison. Poison really saps your health. Hungry too. It's not boring, it's relaxing. I guess. It's just a little boring for me. I want a little bit more interaction, you know. Paladin's relaxing that way though, but the Paladin has more going on. Between swapping targets, swapping seals, and managing your health, you know what I mean? There's a little bit more going on than a hunter. Hunter, all you have to worry about is just healing your pet, pretty much, and just bombs away, you know. Yeah, and then when the pet dies, and that's the funny thing with some hunters that aren't very good at playing the hunter class, they get so dependent on their pet that then when their pet dies, they just fall apart. They don't know how to play. I mean, how many times you've seen like a hardcore hunter die because his pet died? You know, it's like he just panics. Oof. Yeah, Feral Druid. I think is one of the hardest classes to play in vanilla. At least to me, I always feel like it's one of the harder ones. Like to min max it, you know. That's the BM way. Yeah. Hey, Strafe. Good morning, man. How's it going? Yeah, the Bronzebeard hunter was pretty cool. It just didn't have it didn't have enough self-sustain to work against some of the more difficult PvP targets. You know, against some of the more difficult PvP targets. You were doing, but you were doing the hot dog build. I was doing the survival melee kind of build, and it just didn't have the self-sustain, unfortunately, that it needed. Still was fun though. The Bronzebeard hunter was pretty cool. Yeah, they do. So it's all about the quick buck, making the quick buck and moving on. Yeah, those gloves are good for Feral for sure. They're pretty good for melee hunter. I actually used those for quite a while on this character because you know I could only wear gear that I could craft. So
Everything you never do, and all you never say. Never make it
I'm super hyped for Guild Wars 3. Like I am like beyond hyped. You know. I'm gonna reset these guys. With the poison that these guys put out, it is very difficult for me to take out two of them at once. Not worth the effort. Well, did you? I linked a video in the Discord, right? I linked a video in the Discord that talks about Guild Wars 3 from you know Mighty Teapot, and and he makes a lot of good points. I think, I think, I mean, it's not 100% going to be Guild Wars 3, but there's a lot of good evidence that points to it being,
Peaceful.
and if it isn't Guild Wars 3, it's going to be some bullshit, some PvP battleground crap that honestly I just don't see that working like long term. Yeah, it might be cool for a while, but I don't think that has the type of sustain to last like long term. I don't. Maybe some people do, but you know, like if you look at here, if you take a look at, or we can take a look at it really quick, right?
Come on then, gamers. It's the day after the big tease that ArenaNet gave us. Yes, all of the things that happened yesterday. A little bit of a roundup video. There's a tech in Guild Wars 2, right? Possible, by the way, style. You know what I mean? Like that, if else project, I'm thinking like this. And I'll tell you what, another thing that really immediately fired in my brain when I saw all this stuff, it's not that actually obvious on the Twitter video here, which is
Yeah, the thing is, ArenaNet was hiring since 2022 for a new game, and they've been working on this new game at least since 2020. 2023, 2020. I would say 2023 at least. They've been at least working on the concept of it. So, I mean, at the very least, and plus, you got to realize, ArenaNet doesn't announce. They don't typically announce their new MMOs until they're fairly close. Like I played Guild Wars 2 when it launched, but I believe the announcement for Guild Wars 2 only preceded the actual release of Guild Wars 2 by like 3 months. If I remember correctly, I don't remember if Guild Wars 2 had like a beta test. I hope it didn't, because I'm not a fan of beta tests. I think the game should be tested internally and then just launch. Guild Wars 2 had it had extensive beta testing. I didn't remember that because it was a long time ago. In 2012, and it continues to utilize public beta tests for new expansions. Okay, well, so I guess they did have a beta test, but man, it was so long ago, I didn't remember. I just didn't remember. Hey, Strave. I didn't remember. I was a founder for Guild Wars 2, but I don't remember. Plus, you got to realize this was 2012, and Terra launched it. There was Terra, there was Guild Wars 2, and there was Star Wars: The Old Republic, and there was Rift. All of those MMOs came out fairly close together. So my time was I was really busy because I was playing like all of them. I was playing Rift, I was playing Terra, I was playing, I mean, it was hard to really stop one of those games to play a beta for another because they were, you know what I mean? So you're saying they tested for years? Okay, that surprised me. I'm not a fan of beta testing for a long time. I think in today's day and age, there's enough streamers that have enough knowledge of MMOs. Like if you get the right ones, that you can probably bring in to test internally. And then I think all you really need to do for the users, if you want to build hype, the test really at that point shouldn't be around. We really need player feedback. I mean, Guild Wars 2 knows how to make an MMO, right? They've made two of them and they're both very successful. They don't need to do extensive beta testing to know that the game they have is going to be enjoyed by their player base, right? They're going to know. They're just going to bring in certain, like, they should just bring in some testers, do an NDA, do maybe like one open beta test for like maybe like a couple months. Do like maybe 3 months. Do like a beta test, and then gather feedback from that beta test, and then like the next month maybe do another one. But at that point, they should have already fixed most of the main issues, in my opinion. That's the way I would approach it. With Star Wars: The Old Republic, it was organism over my. I didn't remember that. It was a while ago. But here's the thing. So if we go back to this, what Mighty Teapot's talking about, he makes some good points here.
which is rather interesting. But it's actually the architecture that you can see in this image, right? Like this is not really something that appears in Guild Wars 1 or Guild Wars 2. In fact, it absolutely isn't. Not in the current time span, at least. That architecture is indicative of ore, right? Like the Orient style massive
I'm gonna
arches.
freeze my game again
You'll
every time.
notice that we have structures
Every time I bring a window on top of my game, it just crashes my
that
game.
aren't dilapidated or broken down or destroyed in any kind of way, right? In a different environment than we've normally seen, right?
Well, I think for Guild Wars 3, I think one of the things that people didn't like was they didn't like the way the talents and abilities worked in Guild Wars 3. And I have to agree, I wasn't a huge fan of the ability trees in Guild Wars 2. Sorry, not Guild Wars 3. In Guild Wars 2, also you need the Holy Trinity. So if you could, and I don't remember exactly the talent system in Guild Wars 1, But a lot of people say that it was way better than Guild Wars 2. Do we have like a Guild Wars 1 talent? I just want to see what it looks like. So like, let's say in Guild Wars 1, this thing's going to work. It doesn't look like it is. Oh, here, oh, we got to pick something. So let's say, oh, so you're a warrior. Oh, interesting. So you apply, it looks like you applied talent points to skills. I'm not quite sure how it works. It's profession based. Oh, it's not talent. Okay, well, a lot of people said that they liked Guild Wars 1 better than Guild Wars 2. I wasn't really a fan of the Guild Wars 2, like how it has like 3 kind of trees, because it just it felt like you were really locked into certain things. It felt like it wasn't super flexible. I've always, to me, there's nothing better than Rift, right? To me, the Rift talent calculator is the de facto best talent system of any game, any MMO. It's my favorite, right? I go into Rift, I've got 3 talent trees, and I get to pick which soul I want to use. And which soul I use completely gives me a talent tree for that soul. So let's say I want to be an Inquisitor. Well, let's not do that. Let's say I'm a warrior and I want to be a champion, right? Actually, let's look at it, right? Let's go warrior. Champion is an offensive soul, and it tells you this champion's offensive power is specialized in area of effect damage, right? Right. So now I know, okay, I'm building an area of effect damage soul here. And then here, let's say I want to go more defensive. Like I want to be defensive. So I'm going to go like Paladin. Paladin's a defensive soul. It's going to give me a lot more abilities that increase each point in the talent the Paladin tree increases damage, increases base health, increases armor, increases resistance. And when I pick Paladin, you can go in and see stuff like increase your block value, right? Increase damage abilities that generate attack points. Here's like increase your resistances. Shield of the hero enables guard, increase your armor by 3%. So there's a lot of defensive stuff. Now let's say for my warrior, I want to add maybe some spells or something. So let's go into like here's another or we could double down on defense and pick another defensive soul to give me even more defensive abilities. Or we can go with Riftblade, which is more of kind of like a roguish type thing, right? But the cool thing with Riftblade is it gives me some better movement abilities. Now I've got like some ranged. I've got some ranged damage abilities. I've got some better movement based abilities, more stealthy type. If I remember correctly, and don't quote me on this because it's been a while since I played Rift. But the point is, this I think to me this is my favorite talent system of any MMO. I love the way this one works because there's so much flexibility. I would say the only thing that can kind of be a little bit off-putting on Rift is because there are quite a lot of souls. But I mean, with this system, it's very difficult to say any one build's the best build because there's so many builds you could create, and that's what I like about it. Like when you play a game like World of Warcraft, they're really, I mean, it's cool that you can go to the talent system and create variations. But to be honest, the clear-cut best damage dealing build for most of the classes is pretty much already figured out because there's just you don't have that many options. But in here, you've got so many options. There could be like 10 different like defensive builds for a warrior that are all really good for whatever reason, and they're all just slightly different. So I really like the flexibility of Rift.
There's no coral or weird.
Guild Wars 2 dungeons were yeah, that's funny. What's funny, Strafe, is when I played Guild Wars 2, I didn't do the dungeons right away. I spent more time just leveling. And then like I said before, I left the game because there were so many other MMOs that were out at the time that I was playing, like I think Terra and maybe Star Wars: The Old Republic. So I only played Guild Wars 2 for like a couple months, and then I jumped back to Terra and played Terra for like 6 months. So by the time I came back to Guild Wars 2, by then I think they might have already nerfed the dungeons. But whenever I got the chance to play dungeons like level 20, 30, 40 level dungeons, they were just stupid easy. Like they were so dumb. Like people like these high levels would come in and just run through the dungeon and kill everything, and it was nothing. Like the best dungeon experience of any MMO is by far World of Warcraft, and it's not even close. I mean, it is not even close. Like there's no dungeon I go into and have as much fun as I do when maybe I'm doing like a hardcore, UBRS run, or maybe a hardcore Scholomance run, or hardcore Strathel. I mean, come on, man, those dungeons have actual danger in them. People can die. I mean, you actually have to. You can't just like face roll that stuff. I can't go into Sunken Temple and kill the final boss with the tank who doesn't know what he's doing, or people who don't understand that the threat's going to get dropped because the tank's going to get put to sleep and he can one shot the next person. And, I mean, there's things going on that's actually fairly challenging, you know? I mean, I never got a chance to play Guild War dungeons before they were nerfed, but when I did play the dungeons, they were just garbage. And that was one of the things I really disliked in Guild Wars too. So, but anyways, I want to look at Mighty Teapot here for a second.
And stuff. There's no sinking into the ground with all this stuff. So, like, my initial thought was this immediately fired in my brain was like, wow, this is in the past, right? We're seeing something from the history of the world that we haven't seen before.
A lot of people are saying this is like a city from pre-Guild Wars 1, because in Guild Wars 1 it was destroyed, in Guild Wars 2 it was like pulled back out of the ground or the sea or whatever, but then it was still like all dirty and slimy, So it was like ore, like this is like ore and it's pristine. But I have seen another YouTuber who said they don't even think this is ore, but
that's not Guild Wars 1, that's not Guild Wars 2. And again, like with all of the other context surrounding this unannounced project, I'm thinking like this is it, like this is actually Guild Wars 3. And that is what I think. Now, there are some other interesting ideas that have been going around. Some ideas that it could be in the future as well. And I think that's a distinct possibility. But the reason that I would actually say not in the future is actually because like we already have kind of like pseudo, all the box and how net style, alternate timeline Guild Wars 2 expansion. However, but I'll tell you what, I feel like I've got derailed on minor quibbles because let's actually talk why I think that it's really looking like Guild Wars 3. So the next one up here that I think is just a crazy tweet coming out here is how...
So this is the tweet that I think has a lot of, that I totally agree with here. Because the tweet by Arena, it says, stand ready and tune into Summer Game Fest. Big things in the games industry are brewing. Okay? If you're just releasing a new expansion for Guild Wars 2, it wouldn't be big games and big things in the gaming industry, right? So this right here is telling you that they're releasing a new game. There's no doubt about it. Some new game is getting released.
ArenaNet, the studio, has been talking about this announcement, right? ArenaNet tweeted on their account, stand ready and tune into the Summer Games Fest. Big things in the game industry are brewing. Will you be watching? And look, I'm going to tell you something. That is not how you talk about your MMO expansion, right? Like, you don't say that. That does not communicate we are launching our expansion, right? This says we're launching our game, right? We're launching a massive new title out into the world. It's also worth noting, by the way, that the communication has been fairly atypical from ArenaNet. They posted this on the Guild Wars 1 account and on the Guild Wars 2 account and on their ArenaNet account as well. This is like a franchise announcement rather than an individual game announcement, which again is atypical, which very much makes me think that this is going to be this unannounced project. But wait, there's more. And
there's no way. There's no way. It's definitely a game. The other thing that's interesting is, and he's going to go on here, there's more. The developers that are working on the unannounced project have posted. Watch this.
I just love these devs. I'm going to show this on Discord, actually, because I'm, I want to give a little bit of credit. People, find has also been.
So what he shows now is posts from actual devs who are working on said unannounced project, actually posting stuff about this announcement.
Absolutely based devs. So guess what has also been found here? A bunch of developers who happen to be working on...
Look, this guy is the narrative lead for an unannounced AAA project by ArenaNet. And what does he say?
Unannounced project, right? Okay.
And what does he say? He just posts this with the big eyeballs. You know what I mean? So why are people, the developers who are actually working on an unannounced AAA game by ArenaNet, posting stuff?
Responding to the announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how interesting. I gotta say, I love some of these tweets. We've got the eye emoji here from Alex Kane. We've got something approaches.
And this is like something approaches.
I love this. Something approaches from another dev as well. Okay, we have
Now this one's interesting because this one's the community manager. So this is like the community manager for probably the unannounced project. And she says, so thrilled to share this out in the wild. So of course they are thrilled to share. Yeah, but she's thrilled to share their new game they're working on. And it doesn't have to be Guild Wars 3, but it's definitely a new game, right? It's 100% a new game. The thing that's going to suck is if it is like what one streamer thinks. I think it was Wooden Potatoes. He thinks it's not an MMO. He thinks it's going to be like hold on a second. He thinks it's going to be like some stupid PvP game or some shit. And I'm just like, there's no way they're going to release like a standalone, like some sort of PvP world versus world like game. That, you know what I mean? Like that's like, okay, you've got an MMO, you got 2 MMOs, and you're going to release some bullshit like PvP thing that, let's be honest, how many people, PvP is cool and all, but people who get involved in a game that's all PvP, it always starts off that there's a lot of people, and then the game turns very toxic, and then the population, the player base dies. You can't have a massively successful PvP game, I don't think, for any type, I mean, you can, of course you can, but I don't think it's what people are looking for. I don't think the people that are Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 players are really looking for like a massive, like, because if you look at something like, League of Legends or, Dota or some of these other PvP games that have been kind of successful, but they're different types of games, right? They didn't have a background of like I guess Dota did though. Dota came from what? Wasn't that based on a like Warcraft 3 or some shit? But anyways, I just don't see it. I don't see them releasing like a. Plus, if you look at the job postings for the game, it talks about open world design. It talks about story building. It talks a lot about lore. And I'm just thinking, how much lore and story building do you need for a PvP game? I mean, I guess you could, but it just doesn't. It doesn't feel right to me. So, but I guess we'll see on Friday. We'll see on Friday. Yeah, I just got a tweet. Robinhood. What's going on with Bitcoin? Bitcoin just rose 5%. Yeah. So basically everybody said, oh my God, Bitcoin's low, I'm buying. But I am super excited because I did like Guild Wars 1 and I liked Guild Wars 2. But the thing with Guild Wars 2 is I didn't like the fact that the PvP didn't have reward PvP gear that makes you stronger. It was just like cosmetic shit. I thought that was a big miss. I didn't like that we didn't have the Holy Trinity. I think not having the Holy Trinity removes class identity, and I just think that's a big mistake. So like Vol said, if they could come out with Guild Wars, if they can come out with Guild Wars 3 and bring back the Holy Trinity, I think that's a good start. That's a good start. And then you have to make dungeons and stuff challenging and fun, Not like they currently are in Guild Wars 2. Why did you lose respect for the Guild Wars 2 team? They've never really. I haven't been a huge Guild Wars 2 Andy, so I can't really comment on it. When I play Guild Wars 2, I just level characters up and from 1 to the max level and kind of enjoy the process. And then I do Battlegrounds. I really like the PvP in Guild Wars 2. I don't want to do it all day long every day, but I enjoyed the PvP. Oh, is that what it was? Well, I think they need to put the Holy Trinity in. They should put the Holy Trinity in. And the Holy Trinity, to me, I'm a big fan of the Holy Trinity. And I think because I'm a big fan of Dungeons & Dragons. And you're not going to be, to me, in my mind, like a D&D inspired game if you don't have the Holy Trinity. And when I talk about Holy Trinity, I'm saying DPS should DPS, healers should heal. DPSers shouldn't be healing, right? Like a warrior shouldn't be casting second wind and healing himself. That's bullshit. Warrior should be doing damage. And if he's dying, fucking healer should heal him. That's the way I look at it. Because it creates class identity. And it creates class roles that are needed. Like, you can't, as a warrior, just say, I'm going to go and run a dungeon by myself because I can just heal myself and clear everything. No, you can't do that because you'll die. And that's why roles become valuable. A priest is a valued class because if you don't have a priest, you're going to die. You know what I mean? And warriors become valuable because they can do damage or they can tank. Everybody has a role that's needed. It's needed in the fantasy landscape. That's at least that's the way I look at it. I didn't know the whole gimmick was an MMO for non-MMO players. I didn't know that. I'd never played Guild Wars 1. When Guild Wars 2 came out, I had never played Guild Wars 1. Hmm. Yeah, I don't dislike the game, but it was hard. I found it really hard to play. I found it really hard to play because I couldn't. The no jumping really bugged me. I'm not gonna lie, it really bothered me. But I mean, Guild Wars 1. I mean, I watched a review of of Guild Wars 1 recently. They even said in the review that Guild Wars 1 wasn't really a fully fledged MMO. It was kind of more. It felt more like, at least from this reviewer's point of view, it felt more like an RPG. You know, it felt more like kind of like an RPG, like more like almost like a turn-based RPG to a certain, but more like strategic. And but I never played it enough to really see that in action. You know, so again, I can't comment on it. I'm going off what other people say. But you can't deny, Strafe, you can't deny that Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 are both good games. They're both good, successful MMOs. And to this day, people still play both. So, you know, ArenaNet has experience making good MMOs. So, I think that another thing that's really interesting is the fact that they are doing an Unreal Engine 3. That's extremely interesting. Um, I was never a huge fan. I loved the art style of Guild Wars 2. I thought it was really beautiful. I thought it looked really nice, but I thought the characters felt floaty and the anime. I felt like there was no impact to the abilities, you know. And I don't know if we're going to get that in an Unreal Engine 5. I mean, we definitely can. There's plenty of Unreal Engine games I've played that have impact. So, impact really comes down to just well-timed animations. You know, the animations have to be timed with, when you swing your sword right as the sword starts to clip through the enemy, the sound of the sword hitting should be timed correctly so that right when your sword, collides with the enemy, it plays the appropriate sound. And of course, there has to be appropriate stagger animations for yourself and the enemy, so that when you hit an enemy, you can see the impact of hitting them. Same thing when they hit you. You kind of recoil back because you're staggered by the impact of their attack. And so between the stagger animations and the timing of the audio and just the colliding of weapons and stuff like that, if all that's done right, it conveys a really nice sense of impact. And most MMOs get that wrong. I mean, very few MMOs get it right. And I felt like Guild Wars 2 really didn't have. It didn't feel impactful to me. Like the combat never felt super impactful. It didn't feel bad. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't like horrible, but it wasn't great. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that about the PvP either, Strafe. The damage in PvP is too bursty, and I think the damage in most PvP MMOs is too bursty. Like one of the things that made vanilla PvP a lot more fun for me is that you couldn't just blow someone up in 2 seconds, and so it was a lot easier to see where the damage was coming from. If you go into retail WoW and you don't know what you're doing, like say you're not you haven't played retail WoW in like 5 years or something, and you come in there and you go into PvP battlegrounds, you're just going to get annihilated. You're going to get blown up, and you're going to have no idea what's going on. You're going, what just happened? It's not going to be a good experience. I got stupid poison on me. Hmm. Yeah, I think you said that yesterday. I never really experienced that. I never experienced toxicity in Guild Wars 2, so. But I didn't do like, when I'm doing PvP, it's not like I'm in a group with, you know what I mean? I didn't experience. I mean, there was toxicity, but I didn't see it as being like any worse than any other MMO I played. In fact, I saw it as being less toxic than World of Warcraft. Hey, what's up, Zilch? I don't know what the plan is at 60. We may be doing a season discovery event, to be honest. But I would like to do some dungeons. But I mean, at 60, I might go over and be doing some season discovery. There's some sort of event going on that starts this weekend, so I might be playing that for a little bit. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if Guild Wars 3 gets announced, that's going to be interesting. But I mean, even if they did announce Guild Wars 3, it's not like it's not like it's going to be available to be played anytime soon.
Go in peace.
But yeah, there's a season discovery event. Have you? This one here it's actually JP has been telling me about it. I think it's starting this weekend. It's just like a guild of paladins and priests who are basically just leveling up through the content together. Just like a little RP kind of community thing. So it's called, and the guild's called the Light. Apparently they're working on creating the Discord, and it should be created today or tomorrow. But but I'll probably be streaming that. I think that could be fun. I think that'll be cool. Doing a little RP. Didn't I complete the quest? I thought I did. No, I guess not. Oh no, we have to do this. The fangs and the stingers are from the same quest. Okay. Sold some of this stuff. This will be the second pure melee hunter I've leveled from 1 to 60 in hardcore WoW, man. The second one, Zelch. Remember, Vale did it like back in 2019. 2019 or 2020. See? Wasn't that one? It was longer than 3 years ago, wasn't it? Maybe it was. Was it 3 years? We've had various hunters called Vale, but I don't think that's the original one. Was it? Was it only 3 years ago? No, see, that's not the right one. Oh well, we'll figure out later.
Ancestors watch over you.
Yeah, she did. That's right. She dinged 60 and Silithus up here, killing the Earth Elementals right up here in the top left corner. That's right. I remember, and I remember I had over 100 people watching me in stream at the time. Remember that? There were like over 100 people in stream. That was the most. That was the most watch stream I've ever done. Was when we dinged 60 on that melee hunter back on the community-based melee hunter. Because that was the community. That was before the hardcore servers even existed. Remember that? We didn't even have hardcore servers back then. We're gonna swap out the pet soon too. Amber Claw's gonna go bye-bye. Sorry, Amber. Don't know which character to play? Oh, I don't know. I don't know the game. I don't know Rogue Trader. I don't know that game. Yeah, that was Tracking Frenzy, yeah. Just for fun. Whenever you hear the cat sound, that means my pet's procced his Frenzy. You can see it show up on the screen, the text, top left corner here. It'll say Pet Frenzy. See, Pet Frenzy.
How may I aid you?
Another day gone seems I just arrived.
Walk with the earth mother.
All so
Mm.
close, but
Red
always
Crushers.
move so far, was so near. Carry the weight of leaving here. Always something.
Hey,
on
how
the
you
hill.
doing?
Always chasing
Have a good one.
around the bend. Always hoping time stands still. Always knowing the road will end. Caught in tide of wanting, bound in the line of waiting. Been too blind to realize that everything I wanted was right here. Fear of what's ahead, regret of what's behind.
Oh my yeah.
Feel so old and short on time. Held my breath, failed to let it out. Carried the loss of time I'm missing now. Once so small, pure and so alive. Grow so fast, learning how to fly. Time has come, nothing I can do. Fearing the day of missing you. Always something on the hill. Always chasing.
Too much inventory. Too many inventory problems. Too many inventory problems.
Always hoping time stands still. Always knowing the road will end. Caught in tide of wanting, bound in the line of waiting. Been too blind to realize that everything I wanted was right
Yeah.
here.
Greetings. Be careful.
Another day gone, seems I just arrived.
Well met.
All so
Go
close,
with honor,
but
friend.
low on time. Move so far to fight about. Carry the weight of missing out.
Back to, I guess, well, we gotta go way north, man. Like, way north.
King's honor, friend.
It's too late for us now. We've gone. It's
So here is. So I have lots of like.
it's true.
Here, let's do this.
We've gone too far. Warm hearts, cold hearts now. You, we couldn't be more perfect.
So I have lots of guitars, right? And I have lots of Fender guitars, but I recently bought a Squire for like, 8 months, 10 months ago, and it was the first Squire I ever bought, and it was from a specific plant in China during a specific period of time, and the quality of it blew my mind. I couldn't believe how good it was. So I found this Squire, which is also from the same plant, similar time, in the Netherlands, and I bought it. I bought it from the Netherlands, dude. Which, you know what that means? I gotta pay a fucking tariff on it, right? But the guy who was selling the guitar, Franz, super nice person, and the guitar was listed at $757. I actually talked him down. I talked him down to $650. Actually, I got him to lower it at $100. So he sold it to me for $650, and then I had to pay the shipping cost, which was about $90. So that put it back up to $740, which is still overpriced for this particular model by a little bit, not by a lot, but by a little, by probably like $150. But I wanted this model really badly because they didn't make too many customs from the Grand Reward factory in China with matching headstocks. This is actually a pretty rare one. So, and it's in unbelievably good shape. Like this is this guitar was made in 2013, but it looks almost. I mean, it looks like there might be a scuff here, but these are just reflection. I'm hoping that's just a reflection. But it looks to be in immaculate condition. I mean, you can even tell in this picture here that the headstock. And I love the matte finish on the tuners here. They used quality tuners in the Grand Rewards factory in China in 2008 to 2017. There was a run of guitars in that factory that had a high degree of quality, and a degree of quality you just don't see anymore in the Squire line. And you can see here the CGS is the Grand Rewards factory, 2013, and the 03706 is a fairly low number, which means this guitar was manufactured early 2013. But again, you can just see from the pictures, it's in amazing condition. Like, you can't see any scratches on the plate. I mean, it just looks in fantastic condition. I don't see any scratches in the metal. Yeah. I do see one thing that's a little concerning. I see some shadows here by the frets. I'm hoping the frets. Sometimes you'll see frets that aren't seated all the way down into the neck, and you'll see like a little bit of an overhanging lip on the side of the fret right here. And I can see a little shadow there, and that concerns me a little bit. I don't want to see that. That just means the frets aren't really completely flush with the neck, which I don't like. It doesn't really hurt the playability of the guitar. It's more of a cosmetic thing. So I'm hoping that's not the case. But again, that's more of a cosmetic. You can see the fit of the neck is really good. Very tight in that pocket here, and you can see that the nut is cut to the right height on these strings. Hard to tell on these, but these strings are cut at the right height. You can see the spaghetti label. Yeah, I'm very excited. So this guitar is shipping from the Netherlands to me in Florida. So I have just look to my left here. There's one, two, there's 3 Telecasters to my left in my office. Behind me, there's another Telecaster. That's 4. Back to my right in the corner is another guitar stand that has 2 more. So there's 6 Telecasters just in my office. So this is going to be Telecaster number 7. But as you can imagine, I'm a big fan of Telecasters. But I'm super excited to get that guitar. And it was really cool that yeah, I know, you just never know. You never know with shipping. The good news is it's coming through Reverb. You know, you're going to have, you know, you do have a return policy. Although I would probably have to pay shipping. But if the guitar does come in kind of a damaged state, I'm sure I could probably get my money back. But the guy there, though, was super nice. The guy I talked to, seemed really, really friendly. His name was Franz from the Netherlands. I was super excited because I've looked on Reverb for particular guitars from that particular plant from that year span, and I'd never seen a white double-binded Telecaster custom with a rosewood fingerboard. That's the first one I've ever seen, so I was really excited about that. You know, when you're looking at, I always misspell Squire. Squire, Telecaster. And let's just say, I don't know, 60s? We're going to go electric guitar. We're going to say we want it to be used. Wire, see, there's only 42, right? They come back from those filters. And you can just take a look. Most of these aren't going to be the right crafted location. And you don't see any white ones. This one is from the right plant. This one's interesting. I'd be really curious about this one as well, because the trim of the bridge. I almost bought this one. I was talking to the guy. I almost bought this one here. Like, I literally was going to buy this one, because this one's a really nice one, too. And this one's also... This is a 2010. This is a 2010 Grand Awards Factory Telecaster custom. So this is basically the same guitar. The difference is... And I love the finish. This one's got a lot more, like, wear and tear. There's, like, some chips in it. There's some scratches and some dings. But it's a beautiful guitar. And this would have been cheaper. You know, would have been $660. You know, so this one would have run me about $660 plus tax. So you're talking right around $700. But it just was it. So this one's really nice, and I still may buy this one, to be honest. We'll see. Yeah, wrong plant. Indonesian plant. Same, this one, Grand Awards Factory. 2016 though, so it's a pretty later model. But I've never liked this finish. This brown finish has never been one that I like. Anyways, cool. I'm a guitar fan, I can't help it.
Can I help you? Off and away.
Can I help you? Have a good one.
You still have 2 of your first? Nice. First guitar I ever bought I don't have anymore, which I'm kind of bummed because it's actually worth quite a bit of money. But the second guitar I bought, I still have, and it's a 1996 American-made Fender Telecaster in an ash body with a clear finish. Basically a natural ash finish. American Standard Telecaster. I bought it in Lombard, Illinois, at Guitar Center, and I think I paid about $900 for it. For whatever reason, that guitar has not appreciated as much as it probably should. I think it's an excellent guitar. I'll never sell that guitar. That guitar I really like. It's probably my second favorite Telecaster that I own, after the Squire. It's just so funny that the Squires are so. That at least the one Squire I have is so well made. I'm really curious to see how this Squire turns out, because it's, you know, so is the Grand Wars Factory that good, or was it just that I got an exceptional model that was, for whatever reason, exceptionally well made? And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to get another one from that plant, because I wanted to see for myself, was I just really lucky and that the one I got was just an exceptional example of one they made, or are they all made? Do they have, you know, is the quality control that good that all the ones from that plant are good? And that's the rumor. Like, if you go to like Fender forums and stuff and read up about those particular models from that year in that location, people rave about the quality, you know. The other thing that's interesting about that one that I bought is it's not going to be the same wood, because it's a 60s custom, whereas the other one I have is a 50s. Is a 50s, and it is made out of pine, which is really unique, and not too many Telecasters are made out of pine wood, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, but I'd seen a couple of the brown finish, like that one I showed you here with a custom with that kind of sunburst finish, the brown sunburst. I'd only seen like a couple, but I'd never seen a white one with a matching white headstock. So that was kind of unique. I do, when I buy a guitar, I do try to buy ones that aren't like the standard fare. You know, I want something to be unique about the guitar so that it has a better chance to appreciate in value. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't there a flight path right across the bridge? Right by the bridge? Could be. Come on, girl. No, it's not by the bridge. That was a later version of WoW. It's at Light Soap Chapel. Alright, we're moving into dangerous territory here, guys. Always kind of tricky running through Eastern Plaguelands. We're gonna lose 250 health when that buff drops. Man, my mount's too slow. Orwin's Crossing. Been a long time since I've been to Light Soap Chapel. Chapel. Eating light.
How are ye? Be good.
What can I do for you? For the Alliance, go with honor, friend. For the Alliance.
What can I do for you?
What can I do for ya? Off with you.
Need help? Light bless you.
Be seeing you.
Now the even more difficult part. I hate turning in this quest because it's way over here. I don't even remember how to get up. Okay, this way. The woodsman. High elves.
What brings you here?
What brings me?
I am listening.
I went all the way up here, but I didn't really need to go all the way up here, apparently. Quest turn in is down below. Right below me.
What brings you here?
Well, what brings me here is I got 5 inventory slots being taken up by this and stupid pike.
Hello.
You suck.
What brings you here?
Find the Scarlet Heaven writings in the temple of Zin Malor in Ashara. Whoa. Probably a quest I haven't done too often. Honestly, I don't really look forward to running all the way back through this zone. So I've got 34 minutes. I think I might just sit here for 34 minutes. As opposed to having to ride all the way back here and fly, so. I believe we're going to go ahead and create our character for Season Discovery event that starts this weekend. Or we got a couple minutes. I think he said it was Wild Growth. I think Wild Growth is the Season Discovery server where they're going to do this PvE event. Season of Discovery, the Light. Can we be like a Night Elf Paladin? No. So on Season Discovery, you can be a human paladin or a dwarf paladin. Well, we're going to be a human paladin. Sword of Hope.
Time to love. Wake up. Don't let the dark pull us under.
Alright, I'll see you straight. How we going, man?
I will find you.
The hell?
Time to love,
Guard Diddler.
wake up.
His mount's fighting too. Do you see that? He's got like a mount. He was actually fighting those mobs.
Talk to me.
That was kind of interesting.
Off with you. Watch your back.
Hello. Keep your
Hmm.
Settled into place as the darkness.
Well, at least we got the stupid crap out of our inventory.
I can't get to my soul. Rise without a line, thought to swerve. Inside all that I do.
Did you miss the stream? No, not really. I mean, we've been streaming for an hour and 43 minutes. I mean, it's one in the morning, so I'll probably stream for another like 2 hours, then head to bed. You just found my channel? You shouldn't see a black screen. Let me check. It looks fine on OBS, so let me check my phone. Yeah, it shouldn't be a black screen. Yeah, no, it's definitely you.
Just how much I gotta show, but I figured it out. Two hearts make good friends sometimes. You got in mine.
Well, I just opened up my stream on my phone and it was fine, so. Yep, I just summoned the pet. You're gonna sub to it. Thanks, man, for the sub, dude. But you can't even see the stream. You like sub to a stream you can't even see. That's funny. But I appreciate it, man. You can see stuff now. Just leveling a melee hunter, like pure melee, like no ranged abilities whatsoever. So we've been leveling her from 1 to 60 without doing any melee, any range damage, and you can only equip armor that I craft myself. You can only use weapons that drop off of mobs in the actual world. Actually, from level 1 to level 52, I only let myself use weapons that actually were found in treasure chests or loot boxes, which was very difficult because I went a very long time without really weapons. I think I leveled to level 12 before I even had a weapon. I was punching mobs in the face for 12 levels. But we finally got our first weapon in a treasure chest by some harpies, the light scimitar blade, and then most weapons have come from fishing, but then at 52 I just got so sick of trying to get weapons, I finally changed my rules a little bit and said, hey, I can use, if a weapon drops off a mob in the actual open world, I can use it. And that's when we got lucky and we got the Stone Raven. We also, I've said since level 1 that we could equip ranged weapons, we just can't use them, but we could equip them as stat sticks, and we actually got really lucky and got the Gutbuster drop off a Naga out in Ashara. So, but we've never used a ranged weapon. If you go to skills here, you can see that bow is 1, skill of 1, crossbow 1, gun 1. So we've never actually fired any ranged weapon, because if you had it, your skill would be more than 1. I mean, when you learn a weapon, your skill is 1. So I've never actually shot a bow or shot a crossbow or shot a gun. Yeah, and it's hardcore self-found too. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're 57, so no problemo, right? No, I can't use throwing knives either. I don't even know if, I'm not even sure if a hunter can use throwing knives, to be honest. I don't think, can a hunter use throwing knives? I don't think you can, because you can't bite a, I don't see like, oh no, wait, yeah, see, I don't see throwing in here. I think throwing is more rogue, isn't it? I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't really remember using throwing on a hunter. Yeah, you at 60, I'm gonna change all the restrictions on gear and weapons disappear, but we will still be self-found, so we still won't be able to use the auction house. We still won't be able to, trade with other players. We'll still do that aspect of it, because that's part of kind of the event that this whole thing's under. So.
Be careful. Ishnu Allah. Good luck, friend.
Yeah, we'll stay self-found at because the people in this guild, the whole point of this whole event was people were doing race only. So it's basically like my guild is all night elves, like, and it's called Elf Corps. There's also a Night Corps guild. There's also, which is all night elves, and there's like the human guilds are called Honor Corps and Human Air. They're human only. And the the goal of this event was to level to 60 with self-found hardcore, and then to clear molten core as a self-found hardcore thing. Yeah, like Zaryu's doing. Yeah, Zaryu's a gnome, right? So he's in the gnome guild. I don't remember what they're called. I don't know if they're for Gnomergon or whatever, but yeah, I know Zaryu's in that guild. Let me take a look at my bags here. I got quite a few. See what we got going on here. And we probably should. What else can we sell here? We don't need a curve on death. Let's sell that. No, shadow power, demon slaying. Oil of immolation. Okay, we can get this out. Demon slaying. Crappy potions. Here's the new one we just got. More. They love to give demon slaying in these. Oh, we got Frosto. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, Cat's Eye Elixir. That's kind of garbage. I usually stream pretty late. Like, I mean, it's currently 1:21 a.m. my time, so. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just depends. Sometimes I stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes, usually stream between 9 p.m. Eastern and 1 a.m. Eastern time. Because I'm in Florida. Come on, give me Morrow Grain. Yes, nice. I certainly don't need Detect Undead. Oh, crappy. Wow, that was my first really crappy one. Oh well.
My goods are of the highest quality. Go in peace.
You work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.? Yeah. I can pretty much level anything. I can pretty much level anything in hardcore. I just know the game too well.
What brings you here?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know if melee hunters. I mean, melee hunter. I think the hard part with melee hunters is you're not going to do like great damage. Oh, I didn't realize I had more Ungoro soil. You're not going to do like.
May the stars guide you.
you're not gonna do like really really high damage until you get some of your talents online. Like my damage right now is just like it's okay. Like I can go to a dungeon and do decent damage because of my explosive trap. And my pet's, you know, pretty strong in the BM tree. But the problem is your time to kill, your TTKs are going to be pretty low. So you know, my playtime on this character is probably like 9 days or something, or I don't know. It's long, right? Like I'm at actually 11 days, so obviously it's very. And plus I'm a slow leveler anyway, because I take my time and just kind of enjoy the process.
How may I help?
I can't
Alone light your path.
think. Let's do 17, 20, and then we just need to do. Is it 1 or is it 2? It's 2, right? Yeah. Sure it's 2? Zoom 2 and go to soil and a pack on us.
May the stars guide you.
I've played from beta on Doomhammer in 2004 all the way to now, so I've played World of Warcraft all the way going back to beta. But yeah, I don't really play retail versions of the game. I mean, I play them just to try them out, but I played Shadowlands for like a week and thought it was like one of the worst. I actually think it is the worst expansion. Shadowlands is straight up garbage. You played Doomhammer? Yeah, I was on Doomhammer from beta, man. But then when TBC came out, I switched to Teldra I switched to a different server because I was worried that because Doomhammer was pretty crowded, and I went from when TBC came out, me and my brother took a free transfer to Terracar. They offered free transfers off of Doomhammer, so we jumped to Terracar for TBC launch. And Terracar turned out to be one of the worst servers I've ever played on, so I didn't stay on Terracar for very long. I think I stayed on Terracar through TBC, and then when Wrath of the Lich King came out, I think I switched to, I believe I went to Tichondrius then, and at that point I was really big into PvP, so I played on Tichondrius, did a ton of PvP. I was actually in the same guild as Rekful, a guild called Hey I'm MVP. I actually got the chance to, believe it or not, I actually got the chance to play some Battlegrounds with Venruki and Rekful. Back on Tichondrius. That was a long time ago. I didn't know those guys at all, of course, but they were in my guild. I think Venruki gave me some advice once on Mage once. That was about it, but yeah. You went to Asmon's server fairly now. Yeah, I remember fairly now. Yeah, Rip Rekful for sure, man. That's too bad that he killed himself. That was not good. Not good. How did he kill himself anyway? Was it like a drug overdose? It says he died by suicide, but it doesn't really say like how he killed himself. I don't, Now this is weird. It says he publicly stated that Byron died after falling from an apartment building? The details regarding the exact method of his death remain private. Whenever someone commits suicide, they always try to hide the details. Yeah. Usually when people kill themselves, it's usually hanging or drug overdose, or they shoot themselves. It's usually one of those three things. And a lot of people don't they don't want to shoot themselves in the head because it leaves quite the mess for their family to find, you know? He did the hanging thing, yeah. Look, here's the village. The dancing troll village. Look at these dancing trolls, man. Yeah, the shooting thing's weird because, yeah, if you shoot yourself in the head, it may not kill you. That's why you know, put the gun, use the hollow point, put the gun in your mouth and blow out the back of your head. You're not gonna survive that probably. But if I was gonna kill myself, I would probably take some sort of I would just take some sort of drugs that would take me out, you know? Heroin, like, I would just take a bunch of... I would want to just go to sleep and not wake up. Of course, I would never kill myself, but I'm certainly not going to shoot myself. The worst part when people shoot themselves is think about the mess they leave for their family to find. How would you like to find your sister or your dad or your whoever lying on the floor with their head blown off, you know what I mean? It was just kind of nasty. My grandfather shot himself in the head. And that was pretty awful. You know, obviously my mom was crushed. He had emphysema and he was suffering like badly. I remember him always saying, "Why, I wish I could just die." He would say that on a pretty regular basis, and I was like, "God, oh my God," you know. Isn't this a cheerful stream? Yeah. Well, that's what made my mom so upset, is that you know, in the Bible, if you commit suicide, you don't go to heaven. That's why my mom's very religious, so that's why she was so upset. Yeah, I really need to level my first aid. I need to go learn heavy runecloth bandage. Yeah, yeah, I know for sure. I keep forgetting to grab heavy runecloth. We have runecloth, we just don't have heavy. Got to go over to Theramore Island and learn it.
Yo, have a good one.
Needs work, man. Yeah, man. Enjoy your work, man. I hate to say that because nobody really enjoys their work, right? Yeah, thanks for the sub though, Vermont. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one, dude.
The day is late, my path remains.
All right, man. Cool.
I couldn't stay the same.
I don't have track hidden, do I? Shit. Would have been smart if I got track hidden, wouldn't it? Oh well.
Far from home, but
Alright, this is gonna be a little tricky.
today,
This part's a little tricky.
golden sun, drawing low,
Got over here.
forest bone,
Give me a bear. Do we have a bear over here?
blood red
Yeah,
light,
bear works.
angry sea, light the way for me. Today is not a day for words. This house is not a place to stay. The only thing I gave away, everything I love will stay with me. Tunnel dark, secret slow, stepping through the storms. Frigid tide receding, pull away the grieving, steady me. Steady me. Arches rise, worn with time. All will live, all will die, all will love, all will cry, all will look, all will find. Today is not a day for words. This house is not a place to stay. The only thing I gave away, everything I love will pretty homes, it knows my secrets. I'm awake, tangled in regrets. Every scar I tried
Yeah, this is gonna be tricky.
led me here, nowhere to run to.
Very tricky.
There's a spark I can't contain, rising slow through all my veins. I'm breaking through, leaving shadows
This is very tricky. 9 seconds. I should have killed one first instead of trying to tame one. Because if this fails, it's going to be a pain. But it didn't fail. That was me. Okay, now this pet has Cower. Ooh, Cower rank 6. Actually pretty nice. He should also get Fade. But do I have that ability? I don't? Ooh. Oh, we do have, yeah, we have Prowl rank 2. Okay, cool. Oh, we didn't keep the bear long enough, did we? Didn't. I should have kept the bear because I think the bear had the higher rank claw. Oh well. Oh well. When I get to this level, I like to grab this Winter Spring Cub. Now these are, it's actually kind of dangerous to try to tame these because there's so many like level 60s around, but we pulled it off and kind of did it in a risky way where I basically froze one and tamed the other. If the tame would have failed, I would have 2 of these hitting me, and I was already kind of at around half health, so that would have had to, I would have had to pop deterrence, pop a potion, wing clip, and run, basically. You know, maybe wing clip both of them, pop deterrence, run, and then just feign death and hope that they don't resist feign death, and then I would have been probably fine. But it would have been a little tricky if they resisted my feign death. See how well my pet does damage-wise. He doesn't have claw ability. Still got stun. Still has growl. What is it? We got Cower rank 6. So, Cower rank 6. Cast off, and we really want to turn Cower on. Here, Cower rank 6. Cower is on, Cower's off, Cower's on. Okay, cool. We'll go to control when we use Cower, when we don't. Got some Frost Saber left. I hope that for Classic Plus they do a lot more with professions, because that's really something that's woefully inadequate in Classic WoW. Professions really need to be worked on.
make it easier to numb out all the pain. Not like anything was wrong, it never made it right. You're the one to come on strong, so why am I all alone? Here we go again, the same old thing. Smiling through a bleeding heart, I'll fake it till I break apart. What's it gonna take to look away? Man, some days I hate this town. You never fail to let me down. Better stay away before I break now. There's nothing more to say. I'm only days away from a meltdown. Now it's getting colder, driving in my car. Some things never feel the same, don't know where to start. It's not like this is new to me, I really shouldn't care. It's not like you were there for me, so why do I still want you here? Here we go again, the same old thing. Smiling through a bleeding heart, I'll fake it till I break apart. What's it gonna take before I break? Man, some days I hate this town. You never fail to let me down. Better stay away before I break now. There's nothing more to say. I'm only days away from a meltdown. What's it gonna take before I break? Man, some days I hate this town. You never fail to let me down. Better stay away before I break now. There's nothing more to say. I'm only days away from a meltdown.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
dream of you at night. Wake up and then you're gone all the time. Lost in you. Lost in you. If only we could fix it, make it all okay. I would tell you something different. I know just what I'd say. All the time in eternity, I would give it all away just to be lost in you, forever lost in you. It's more or less a sign of age, drawing lines, blue recede to vacant gray. How much time? It's more or less the same. Holding, wanting more than this to say. Loving, searching, breathe a brand new day. Growing, learning, it never goes away. Living, being afraid. It's more or less gonna be okay. The start of a new day. In the way we It's gonna be okay. I trace your name on the window pane. Raindrops fall and my tears remain. Whispers of you still haunt the night. A ghost I hold but not in sight. And I keep replaying all we used to be. Every smile you left like a melody, but the song feels hollow, fading slow, like a river losing where to go. I miss you in the quiet, I miss you in the rain. I carry all this silence, I carry all this pain. And though the world keeps turning, I'm frozen in the past. Loving you was easy, letting go won't letting go won't last. Your sweater's still on the empty chair. It feels like time just stopped right there. Every shadow bends into your shape. I'm reaching out, but you're too far away. And I keep replaying all we used to be. Every word you spoke is a part of me. But the night feels colder, so alone. And this heart still calls you like a home. I miss you in the quiet, I miss you in the rain. I carry all this silence, I carry all this pain. And though the world keeps turning, I'm frozen in the past. Loving you was easy.
Yeah, what do you want?
Greetings. See you around.
Can I show you my wares?
Mm.
Interesting. Be careful out there.
Hey, how you doing? Be good.
All right, guys. I think I'm going to bed. It's late. It is 2:10 a.m. So I'm gonna get some sleep. I hope you guys also, wherever you are in the world, get some sleep. Have a good night, more morning wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next stream. We're still kind of making our way towards halfway through 57. Probably have to do. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, you got to turn this quest in, and we could probably do. I don't know. I may go back out into Silithus. What is this one? Yeah, and turn this quest in here. And then maybe do the... I don't know. We could do the encrypted... Hey, Flobius. How you doing? I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what quest we're going to do next. We could do Silithus. There's the Highborn writings here in the ruins of Eldroth and Azshar. There's also the Hunter class quest we still need to do. Those are things that we can do as well. And of course, there's always Felwood. You know, further corruption. Some of these we could probably do. You know, further corruption. And this one here is kind of annoying though. The falling to corruption. There's like a pack of like 4 mobs up there, and I don't really like handling 4 mobs at once on this character. Doesn't work out too well. Let's see. Well, I'll catch you guys later, man. Have a peace, or have a good night. Peace out, man.